This is Dan's Reviews, and lately I've been thinking, what is the one thing that is worse than the diddler himself? A diddler who dances. But enough about that. Let's talk about Ted Bundy's luck when it's not 1 o'clock. I feel like people may forget the real reason why Ted Bundy died.
All that cream cheese wasn't exactly helping my cholesterol.
He died?
Fucking died right there on the recliner. Yeah, apparently when you die, your bowels release, so that noise we heard was him actually shitting his pants when he died.
But after all the fucked up cholesterol and the crazy Trinity Killer, let's talk about it. This is Dexter, Season 4. Alright guys, this one's going to be doing a review today. This one's going to be doing a review for Dexter. This one's going to be doing my 4th season review for the full season reviews of Dexter. This is for Season 4, the full season review. Oh my god, what the fuck was that? Seriously, what the fuck? This season is on another level of insane. I mean, this season is on another level. This is one of the most just out-of-pocket, insane seasons of television I've ever seen in my life. I mean, it doesn't get summed up better than that right there. I mean, this season presents probably one of the greatest villains of a TV series I've ever watched. Some of the most insane and gut-wrenching deaths of a TV show I've ever watched. It has some of the best scenes and kill scenes of a TV show I've ever watched. It is everything. It is absolutely everything. This season has everything you would need. It has emotional scenes, some of the best of the show. Some of the best comedy of the show. Somehow they stick that in there. This is an incredible fucking season. And, anybody that's an OG Dexter fan, you know why. This season is insane. So we're going to go through it. We're going to talk about it. And I guess let's just jump right into it. The plot of this season is revolving around a man that kills women and kills them in bathtubs, basically. We open the season with a kill from this guy named the Trinity Killer. And the Trinity Killer is the investigation that they're all doing this season. They're trying to find this son of a bitch that's doing this to women. He's killing women in bathtubs. He's forcing them to jump off roofs. If not, he'll go and kill their darn family and their children and everything else, and etc., etc. We then later in the season find out that he also hurts kids. He captures kids and buries them. He is an abusive father to his 2 children, his son and his daughter, and by the looks of it, his wife, that are all terrified of him. He puts on this mask. He is a churchgoer. He works with a choir in the church. He volunteers and does community work. He builds homes for the homeless. He is an absolute saint when you look at him from a distance. He completely covers everything. But he's the biggest unforgivable son of a bitch on TV. I swear to God. I don't think I've ever seen a villain on any TV show that has angered the hell out of me like this guy. And you know what's funny? The actor that plays the character, the guy that plays the Trinity Killer, that plays Arthur, is probably one of the greatest comedy actors of all time. He always has comedy roles. He always does. This is the first time he took a role like this, and he won an Oscar for this, which I understand why. He absolutely deserves it. He absolutely does. It is an insane role for him to have. He is one of the most hateable characters of all time. And on top of that, this season, one of the massive plots that we have is, while the investigation is going on, we have Ted Bundy, who is, of course, returning in this season to investigate the case. He's been trying to find the Trinity Killer for a long, long time. And he returns, obviously. Things get kind of awkward because Deborah is seeing Anton still. And we kind of notice that, she has more feelings for him than she does for Anton. And she cheats on Anton with Lundy. But not before Lundy investigates the case. He actually, little does he know, meets the Trinity Killer by bumping into him on the street. He immediately picks up on it. He gets way too far in this investigation. And unfortunately, Ted Lundy and Deb are shot in the street in the middle of the night in this insane sequence where it makes it look like they both die together. She's on the ground begging Lundy to stay with her, and then next thing you know, you find out that she survives, Deb survives, but Lundy dies, and Lundy's dead. And it's a wonder of who the hell killed Lundy. Like, who the hell was the one that did that? You know what I'm saying? So that was one of the saddest moments of the entire show. I mean, Ted Lundy, man, I would love to take a second to just say, he was an incredible character. You know what I'm saying? Keith Carradine did a phenomenal job. He's so damn badass. He knows everything. He is a great investigator, and he was retired on top of that. He wasn't even supposed to be here. That's the part that's fucked up about the entire thing. And on top of that, I mean, he's one of the most wholesome guys you'll ever see. I mean, the guy literally stops at 1 o'clock in the middle of an investigation to put his feet in the water and have a cucumber fucking sandwich. I mean, how more wholesome can you fucking get? You know what I'm saying? Like, the guy is just, he's an absolute saint. He's an absolute badass. He's a gangster. He knows everything. So incredibly well acted by Keith Carradine. I couldn't say more wonderful things about him, honestly. His death really, really, like, messed me up, man. That was sad. And on top of that, then you get the continuation after that. Now you have to wonder who killed Ted Lundy. And Deb is seriously on this investigation. Like, we have a Thanksgiving episode, and she doesn't even give a shit. She's on this investigation the entire season until she figures it out. And you've got Quinn in this season who is dating this, like, journalist, this, like, reporter or whatever. And she's kind of, you know, kind of a clingy girlfriend. She kind of is always up his ass 24/7, you know what I'm saying? And I guess you could say he's up hers as well. But, you know, point being, she's very obsessive, you know what I'm saying? And we get to then see, as the season progresses, and then you then reveal she is the Trinity Killer's daughter the entire time. He has another daughter. Which I'm like, what the fuck? And she has childhood memories of him doing horrible, horrible things to her mother in this bathtub, right? So kids remember shit when they're young, and she does. But she doesn't know the extent of what her father is. But she still decides, regardless of what he is, to kill Ted Lundy to protect her father. What a fucking psycho. Like she literally, like, she ends up getting caught eventually. Deb ends up, you know, interrogating her, and it's like, she just will not fess up completely until the very last minute. She was an insane character, because at first you think she's just the obsessive girlfriend, and then they pull that twist, and then you notice how psycho she is, and then you notice what she is, and then they kind of add this layer to her character where it's like, okay, she didn't know the extent of what her father was, so it kind of like, it makes you understand her point of view, but it's still like, I'm like, you killed Ted Lundy, like, fuck you, like, you know what I'm saying, like, no. And then, in a scene with Deb, where she finally has her dead to rights in her home, she fucking shoots herself, and Deb and the rest can't get anything out of her. Wow. I mean, seriously, like, talk about ballsy as shit. I mean, seriously, what an insane sequence. So, on top of everything else, we've got the Trinity Killer that is absolutely out of his mind. I mean, when I say that this guy gives perv vibes, I mean, I seriously mean it. Like, he's eating with random families at restaurants and dining with them when, like, he didn't even ask them, and Dexter has to lure this guy away. Dexter has so many opportunities, and you know, let's talk about this properly. Dexter this season has so many opportunities to kill the Trinity Killer, it's not even funny. There's a moment where this guy's going to off himself. Dexter has to save him. He wants to kill him, but he doesn't do it quick enough. There are so many moments where he tries to kill the Trinity Killer, and every time something gets in the way. Or Dexter's just so fascinated by him. Because this is a situation where Dexter did go through a lot of trauma as a kid. He did. And obviously, we know that the Trinity Killer did as well, too. And they kind of share their background a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But I can't understand any situation where you tell me that after what he does to his family, after what he does to his son, like twisting his finger just because he fucking got his like car messed up. It's insane. Like, thank God Dexter was at Thanksgiving, because I don't know what the fuck would have happened otherwise. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it got out of control either way, but seriously, I think Dexter bought Jonah and, you know, some of the others some more time. Like, seriously, because what the fuck? Like, and I have to give props to the family as well, too. The family did great, the actors, because I genuinely felt how nervous they were. So they did a great job in the acting department as well, too. But the moment the Trinity Killer just absolutely got under my skin is when he captured that young boy. And luckily, and this is why, like, you can't tell me that Dexter isn't a saint at the same time, because he literally saves this boy's life. Like, if it wasn't for Dexter, this boy would be in the ground. This boy would be dead. So Dexter has probably one of his most heroic moments of the entire show around that time. And it just gets more heated because, I mean, you literally have him that now is on Dexter's, you know, tail. He literally follows him to the darn police station and literally walks in there as a visitor. And probably one of the most intense sequences of TV is that scene where he walks up to Dexter and he looks at his name tag and he's like, "Hello, Dexter Morgan." And I'm like, holy shit, man, you're fucked now, aren't you? I mean, seriously. And it just spirals out of control, because then you got the finale that picks up. You've got Dexter that is trying to fucking hunt this guy down, because now this guy knows his business. He knows about Dexter's family. Dexter has to stop this guy. And unfortunately, he's speeding down the road too quick, and he runs into this guy that gets all pissed off because Dexter fucked up his car. So now Dexter's in shit. And as soon as Dexter finds the Trinity Killer, he, you know, puts the needle in him, knocks him out, and puts him in the back of his van. But then, unfortunately, this fucking Karen comes up to him and he's like, "Hey, you messed up my car, blah, blah, blah," you know? And he's, like, recording Dexter and stuff like that. And Dexter just has enough. He's already stressed out enough as it is. And he literally knocks the guy down. But then, unfortunately, the sheriffs come, take Dexter, and Rita has to bail Dexter out. And in some of the most crazy, just sad final scenes between Dexter and his wife, we literally see that he wants to tell her. At that point, he wants to tell her what he really is. That he's a monster, that he's the problem the whole time, that he's, you know, everything. And she really doesn't care. She knows that Dexter has a dark side in him, and she says that it doesn't matter to her. Because what he is for the family is what matters to her. And that's, you know, all there is to it to her. Obviously, she never finds out exactly what he is, but we get the death of Arthur in this one as he's trying to flee town. Dexter catches up to him, stops him, and we get the death of the Trinity Killer, which was one of the most insane scenes of the entire series because he's actually happy with dying. He's actually all right with it. He's actually embracing this shit. You can't win against this guy. Even in death, you can't win against him. And then, as if this season did not have the most insane story ever, the final scene of the season is Dexter coming home. He finds out that Rita was apparently supposed to stop back home to get something, and then she was going to head out. So he rings Rita's number. It's dark. It's just Dexter in the house. He rings Rita's cell phone, then to just see it lights up in her purse across the table. And then you realize something's wrong. This was so fucked up. He walks in the bathroom to see Rita there in the bathtub, murdered, and you find out that the Trinity Killer that he just fucking killed a half hour ago, before he left town, killed Rita in that type of fashion, and left Harrison in a pile of blood on the fucking bathroom floor just to sit there in front of his dead mother. Which is just like what Dexter went through as a child. I mean, does it get more fucked? Does it get more screwed up? I think the part that makes it even more insane is two things. Rita is one of the most innocent characters of television. I'd rank her up there. She's one of the most innocent characters you'll ever find. On top of all that, he's dead. You can't do nothing. You can't take your anger out. You can't do nothing. You can't give him a drawn-out, brutal death like you probably would want to at that point. You can't do anything. you have to just sit there and look at your dead wife and be like, yeah, I already avenged you. Like, oh my god. I mean, this is like one of the craziest fucking seasons I've ever seen. And a side note, this is, I guess, the only other thing to acknowledge about the season. You've got like a minor plot with Batista and LaGuerta where they may lose their jobs because they're, you know, dating now and stuff. And that was a cool plot. That plot was good because I liked that it was kind of the only calm plot of this insane season. So we needed that, if you ask me. You know, we needed some good Batista, you know what I'm saying? Because he was the only thing that admittedly calmed me down this whole season. Like, he's the reason why this season didn't make my mind explode, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, now, this is one of the most insane seasons of a TV show. It's one of the best seasons of a TV show I've ever watched. The Trinity Killer is honestly one of the most terrifying threats I've ever seen of anything. I'll say this, he's number one in this department. He's the most aggravating villain I've ever seen, for sure. Like, I wanted to jump through my TV screen. Like, he is easily the most aggravating villain I've ever seen. Hands down. The actor, though, seriously, round of applause for him, first of all. Round of applause for Keith Carradine, as well. Round of applause for Rita's actress, as well. And am I forgetting anybody? No, I think that's it. Well, look, I'll tell you. This season is masterful. It's masterful quality. I'm actually, like, trying to wrap my words into a fucking review, but it's been a word salad this entire review, so I apologize for that, because I'm just hitting pinpoints at this point. Like, this season, oh my god. Yeah, 10 out of 10. If I could break the scale, I would. 10 out of fucking 10. As a matter of fact, you're going to see something from me that low-key you probably never thought you'd see. 11 out of 10. Yeah, 11 out of 10. There you go. So for all that to say, that'll do it for the review. Hey, Original Sin airs tonight, so there you go. We'll be back for that tomorrow. Anyway, thank you all for watching, of course. Post comments down below, and if you're new to the channel and you enjoy videos like this, make sure to click the subscribe button so you don't miss any of the videos for Dexter. Make sure, of course, to follow me on Dan's Reviews Official on Instagram, guys. And, of course, I'll see you guys really soon for more videos for Dexter. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.